the house of love and loss. Isabella was just 18 when she married Daniel. Their love was the kind that people in their small town whispered about, the kind that seemed to glow from within. Daniel was 19, full of dreams and energy, and she was a quiet, determined young woman with a heart that radiated kindness. Together, they were a picture of hope. The beginning of their marriage was filled with joy, though life wasn't easy. Isabella worked as a teacher at the local elementary school, earning a modest salary. Daniel ran a small butcher shop, which barely made enough to keep their heads above water. But they were young, in love, and undeterred by the challenges. When their first son, Lucas, was born, Isabella was still 18. The arrival of their baby boy only deepened their bond. She would cradle Lucas in her arms after long days at school, her heart full despite her exhaustion. Daniel, too, would come home from the shop, lifting the little boy high into the air, his laughter filling their tiny rented home. 3 years later, Isabella gave birth to their second son, Matthew. On Lucas's birthday, it felt like destiny, a beautiful connection between their two boys. Though the family grew, their struggles didn't diminish. The rent ate into their savings, and every day felt like a balancing act. But Daniel and Isabella never gave up. They dreamed of building their own house, a place they could call home, free from the burden of rent. For years, they scrimped and saved every spare penny. Daniel worked longer hours at the butcher shop, taking on additional deliveries, while Isabella tutored students in the evenings after her teaching job. They poured every ounce of energy into their dream, sacrificing comforts for the future. By the time Isabella was 28 and Daniel 29, their house was nearly complete. It stood at the edge of town, modest but beautiful, a symbol of their hard work and love. Isabella often stood outside, gazing at the walls they had built together, imagining the life they would create within them. But fate can be cruel. One sunny afternoon, just weeks before they were set to move in, Daniel was working on the house's final touches. He was fixing the roof, humming a tune as he worked. Isabella was at home with the boys, preparing dinner. When she got the call, Daniel had fallen. She raced to the hospital, her heart pounding in her chest. When she arrived, the doctor met her with a somber expression. Daniel's injuries were severe. He held on for a few hours, long enough for Isabella to sit by his side. Through her tears, she begged him to stay, to fight. But Daniel, with a weak smile, held her hand and said, "I'm tired, Bella, but I'm ready. I know where I'm going now. Thank you for helping me find him." Isabella's heart broke anew at his words. For years, she had prayed for Daniel, gently encouraging him to open his heart to Jesus. He had been hesitant, but in the months before his accident, something had shifted. He began to attend church with her, to pray with her and the boys. Just weeks before, he had been baptized. "I'll always love you," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "Take care of our boys. Tell them I'll always be with them." And then he was gone. The days after Daniel's death were a blur of grief and responsibilities. Isabella was left to raise two young boys on her own. The house that had been their dream now felt like a cruel reminder of what they had lost, but she had no choice but to keep going. Isabella took over the butcher shop, despite knowing little about the business. She woke before dawn every day, preparing the shop and ensuring her boys were cared for. The community rallied around her, offering support in small but meaningful ways. Still, there were nights when Isabella cried herself to sleep, her heart aching for the man she had loved so deeply. She missed his laughter, his strength, the way he had made her feel safe. But in the quiet of those nights, she found solace in her faith. She clung to the belief that Daniel was watching over them, that his spirit lived on in their sons. Years passed, and Isabella's hard work paid off. The butcher shop began to thrive under her care, and she continued to teach, instilling in her boys the values of resilience and love. Lucas and Matthew grew up knowing the depth of their mother's sacrifice, inspired by her strength and unwavering faith. On Daniel's birthday each year, Isabella and the boys would visit his grave, bringing flowers and sharing memories. It was a bittersweet tradition, a way to honor the man who had given them so much even in his absence. And the house they had built together, it became a sanctuary, a place where laughter and love echoed through the walls. It was no longer just a dream. It was a testament to their journey, a journey of love, loss, and unshakable hope. If you've made it to the end of this story and it touched your heart, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us share more heartfelt stories with the world. Thank you for being here.